Hey everyone, and welcome back to Best of the Best Movie, the podcast where we figure out once and for all which movie is the best movie of all time. We do that by taking the 28 best movies and putting them in a bracket tournament. Those movies come from the MTV Movie Awards, obviously. That's where the best movies are. I'm Brett, joined by Dustin and Dylan.
Hey,
Dustin,
I didn't get the memo.
What?
For black shirts.
This is blue. This is navy blue, speckled with white.
Oh. Then fuck off.
Then you didn't get the memo for monochromatic shirts.
Oh. Well, blue, no, they updated monochromatic.
They updated? They got the update?
The new patch has navy blue and blue.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. I didn't get the patch downloaded yet. I'll have to get it later.
We're all good then. We're all on the same page.
Did you see the update for Animal Crossing?
No, you know what? Someone at work finally convinced me to replay it, so...
Because fireworks are coming, baby.
I'll have to get into it.
A month late.
It's pretty sad how I was texting Katie. I was like, we can hold balloons now. And I was excited about that. I was like, we can hold a balloon.
Go buy a balloon.
In the trailer, it shows like the little character holding a balloon. I'm like, yeah.
Balloons! Meanwhile, you walk past a balloon store and you're like, fuck that place.
Yeah. Helium shortage is real serious, guys.
Quit sucking on it, boys.
Yeah, okay, put the H, guys.
I always ask you guys first what non-tournament movies you've seen, but I'm going to go first.
Yeah, you do it.
Because Katie and I went on a real marathon, and we watched all 3 Star Wars prequels in 3 days.
Which one do you think was the best?
The third one, obviously. The first, I remember.
What a lame
I
answer.
remember you telling me The Phantom Menace was good, and while I was...
I didn't say Phantom Menace was good. I said Phantom Menace is the best out of all of them, because they feel most like a real movie.
No, the third one's the best out of all of them.
The third one drags.
No, the first one drags, dude. After the pod race scene, it's just like, oh my god. But the pod race...
We can all agree, though, that they're not all... 2 is pretty bad. I went in hopeful for 2. I was like, maybe it has like a reverse effect. Like, maybe as I get older, I can appreciate it. And then I was like, no, this movie's garbage.
It wasn't as bad as I remember. We had the opposite thing when I was watching 2. Because I remember hating 2. And this one, I'm like, it's kind of like nothing's happening, but it's kind of cool.
I will admit the end, the Battle of Genovia, is that the name of it? That part had some cool stuff.
What is really sad, though, is Katie would ask me during the movie, like, what's happening? And I could name all the characters, but I had no idea what they did. And she was like...
They're Jedis. It's not like one of them's a janitor.
She's like, you know the very bad Asian stereotype aliens? That they're
From the first one?
Yeah, from the first 3. It's Viceroy Newt Gunray. And I know that, and it's very sad. I know his name and his title. He's a viceroy, and his name is Newt Gunray. And Katie's like, well, what does he do? And I'm like, oh boy.
They're like trade ambassadors.
They're like separatists. They like the emperor convinced them to separate from the...
I think that's literally what they call them, the separatists.
Yeah, basically the emperor like convinced them to separate. That way he could convince the republic, oh, they're separate. The emperor was like messing with people. He's like, oh, he like made bad people to get the good people on his side. I don't need to get into the emperor, but
no, yeah, the whole trilogy is like, oh, this is just the emperor like following through on a good plan.
Yeah, it really reminded me of Survivor, where Survivor, it really is just like you're trying to get people.
Join our crew.
You're trying
Join our alliance.
He was in it. The Emperor was in it for the long haul. He was like, I'm playing this long game.
It paid off basically until the very end.
Vote him off. Do it.
Vote Boston Rob.
I mean, hey, it even still worked out until the very, very end. Yeah, if that's what you're referring to.
The council will hear of this. I am the council.
Yeah, he's telling Jeff Probst. I was saying to Katie how sad it is. I basically know all the character names. I don't know what they do, but I know more Star Wars characters than I do American presidents or capitals or like anything important in history.
To be honest, who's cooler?
Newt
Star Wars
Gunray.
characters are 45 of the American presidents.
President Coolidge is pretty cool.
We know
He does have cool in his name.
we all love one president, and it's definitely the most recent president, the one that's still in office, and we all love that one president.
We all love him. We all agree with everything he says and does, and you can hold us to that from now until the end of dawn.
Yeah. And I cannot wait until 2000.
Here's my voting slip, which I legally took a picture of. You could see.
Can't wait till 2010 rolls around because we do
2010 again.
we
Hey, we recorded. We're gonna jump back 10 years. Best in Bitcoin. Do some other cool
we're just
shit.
predicting what movies are going to win the MTV Movie Awards. I watched the Star Wars prequels. What movies have you guys seen non-tournament related?
I tried watching The Old Guard.
Oh, the Netflix. Sure.
Yeah. I got the first time I tried watching it, internet cut out about 15 minutes in. Second time, internet cut out about 35 minutes in, and then this last time, it just got boring, and I was more interested in watching him play Detroit.
So
Yeah, that's the new movie we're watching. Is me playing Detroit Become Human.
so your attention cut out halfway through.
Yeah, halfway through, yeah, exactly. It just couldn't hold me anymore. I was just like, this is boring. I want to watch him make bad decisions.
The same thing happened with
I make mostly good decisions. Okay.
The same thing happened with all of your ex-girlfriends, right?
Yeah, I that's what they said to me. They're like, I just want to watch him make bad decisions.
You just can't hold my attention. I'm just gonna watch Dylan.
I'm just gonna go.
They don't want to date Dylan. They just want to watch him.
They just want to watch him.
Dylan or Dustin?
No, they stopped dating me to watch you make bad decisions.
I see.
Which by being friends with me, that's the big bad decision.
He's still coming over. I just want to watch your friend make bad decisions. We're done.
Don't fucking touch me or look at me.
Dylan, are you cool with I'm sure 30 women are following you around?
Yeah, I like being objectified, even for the wrong ways.
Yeah, all 60 women come into the house all the time, and all 70 of them just are constantly looking at Dylan, being like, hey, the 90 of us are asking ourselves, what the fuck are you doing?
From
those-
30,
are those-
60 to 90.
Are those 3 sex bots he dated following you around as well?
Yeah, unfortunately so. But and they've also been running our energy bill up because they keep charging in the house.
I remember
They're not solar.
I remember how much you cried because you bought those sex bots and they broke up with you.
I bought the first one. I bought the first one, and after 3 months, it said I have to go, and then the second one left in a week, and the third one I opened the box and it said no way, and it just left.
Man, robots sound stupid.
No way.
I
have to go.
I need to go to the store. Bye bye.
I have to go. Hello, Dylan. Hello, Dylan. Yeah, I like you. Make bad decisions.
I don't like that voice. Stop it.
Brett loves it. You hate it.
It's cracking me up. I wish you could voice Alexa there. Dustin.
The weather outside.
What else did you watch? Did you watch something in full? Well, you don't really watch anything in full, but do you watch?
That's not fair.
Wait, are you asking me if he watched it in full frontal nudity?
Yes, that's what I mean.
I'll watch a movie with my attention completely. I don't. Is there something I watched and I don't remember that you're remembering?
I'm just wondering.
No, that's it. That's the only only movie I tried. I've just been watching you play Detroit, so I haven't been watching movies.
It's a good movie. Huh?
Are you guys fighting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, physically.
Can't see it. We're so fast.
It's kicking each other.
Yeah, we're fighting only in feet right now.
No pain, no gain. No. How about you? You seen anything other than the movies that we're watching?
So last week we had mentioned at one point briefly Phone Booth, and that inspired me to watch Phone Booth. I watched Phone Booth.
Does that movie hold up?
That movie's good.
I haven't seen it.
I enjoyed it very much. And then today I watched the sequel to one of the movies we watched.
Phone Booth 2?
Yep. No, something about Mary Sue. Revenge of the Fallen.
Hey, there would be a bunch of fallen guys, right?
Wait, did you watch number 2, The Revenge of the Fallen?
Yeah, I got bored.
That's fair.
I wanted to watch it.
We'll talk about that later. I say, should we just get into the stuff?
Yeah.
What year is it, Dylan? I'm Brett.
Let's get into the Oscars. If we were doing the Oscars podcast,
Should we take a quick jump real quick?
Sure. Hey, welcome to the Oscars podcast. We're talking. Well, Dustin, one of your heroes is in this. We're talking American Beauty
Chris Cooper
versus Slumdog Millionaire.
I think you're about to say Slender Man. I don't know why.
And the best picture goes to Slender Man.
The entire audience just dead silent.
Well, yeah,
The director's like, and all the way in the back, he's like,
I don't think the director would accept it, right? Slender Man would come up.
It's the producers. Yeah. Slender Man comes out.
How did Slender Man?
he's like, he's doing the Harlem Shake on the way.
That's
Two dead memes combined into one.
That's his tentacles. He has tentacles in some of the drawings.
Some iterations, yes, he has tentacles.
And I was trying to show that, and I didn't know how to show that.
Nowadays, it'd be a Siren Head movie. That's the new meme.
That's the new Scary Time.
So which movie wins, Slummy or Beauty?
Slum.
American Beauty.
And no, I haven't seen either in over a decade, so I don't know.
American Beauty's it's tough to watch now because it's about a pedophile, and the lead actor ends up kind of being a pedophile.
Yeah,
He's accused pedophile. Accused.
It's good though. It's pretty
pedophilia?
good. No,
Dylan's all about it.
I didn't
the
know.
movie's pretty good though. Both are really good, actually.
I've never liked Slumdog Millionaire. I didn't get the hype.
Wow.
Never a fan.
I wonder why. Is it the cast?
What? No. It's probably the director. I'm not a huge fan of.
Is it because that you lost that one time you went on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah.
Speaking of Rip, speaking of which,
Rip.
Philbin died.
Oh.
Rip.
F.
Let's go back to the MTV verse.
The real
Fuck this universe.
The real one. All right, let's talk about the 1999 MTV Movie Awards, baby. This was hosted by Lisa Kudrow from France. Ever heard of her?
Smelly Cat.
Her and Donald Faison.
Dude, what? No, just her. Dude, you guys would have loved it. So this whole show is on YouTube. I'd suggest you watching it because the performers, these were good ones. These were good ones, baby. First up was Will Smith singing Wild Wild West.
Whoa! This is awesome.
He rolls up to the stage on a horse in a cowboy outfit, about to sing a rap song.
Jim West himself?
Yeah, it gave me old what's that song called? Old Town Road vibes. I thought he was about to sing that song. But
yeah, he was gonna sing that song.
But it was a pretty good performance. Lots of good dancing. It was recorded on VHS, so it really felt like you're watching like a high school talent show where you could really hear him breathe and stuff. It's just like it's really odd. Okay.
Wow.
And then guess who performed second? None other than Kid Rock performing "Bomb with the Bomb."
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yes.
The front section was just a bunch of boys kind of going, yeah.
Just a bunch of boys. Hey, if we were old enough and we were there, we'd be those boys.
And then the third performer is a little weird. It was Robbie Williams singing "Millennium." I don't know who he is, and I watched his performance, and it starts out as a James Bond tribute, and he's like acting all cool. He has a bunch of like Bond girls with him, and he's like acting super cool, and then it just turns into like the super like fun song. It was really odd.
Did he do the Bond song that year? Was there Bond song? Did he do?
I doubt it. It was.
Was there? Did like Tomorrow Never Dies come out that year or something?
Oh boy, you know the movies. I don't. All I know is he sang it, and it was a very happy song called "Millennium." I'll check it.
I like the way your Bond goes. Play the Bond goes.
All right, I took some notes about the bits. So the opening was Lisa Kudrow. She was kidnapped by Dr. Evil, And this was
That's something he would do.
it wasn't her being put into the movie. It was a full shot bit with Mike Myers and Seth Green, and it wasn't that funny. At one point, he brings out Billy Crystal because I guess he likes kidnapping awards hosts. And then Billy Crystal takes off his mask, and it's really Austin Powers. It wasn't that funny. Her mom,
Make you horny.
he did ask that to her, and she said no, which I thought was funny.
No.
She's like, right now, no.
Right now.
Right now, no.
The monologue was
No.
the monologue was different. It was her answering questions from the audience, a real Saturday Night Live.
I was about to say, yeah.
Though none of the people ask, I thought they were going to get celebrities to ask questions. Only Katie Holmes was the only famous person. The only really funny bit was someone asked her who decorated the set, and she didn't know, so she just said Bob. And then the next person asked the question. He was like, "Hey, I'm the set decorator." And then it was just like this really awkward. Like Lisa Kudrow is very good at being awkward, and she was like, "What? No, yeah, I know." It was pretty funny. All right.
I like that.
And then there was a trailer for the upcoming movie called Armageddon Sync, where NSYNC was in the movie Armageddon.
Huh.
And the opening bit wasn't too funny. It was the asterisk coming to the Earth. It was the asterisk from the band Bewitched, which I don't think anyone really cares about. The only bit I really found funny.
This bit runs deep.
The only part I found funny was I think it was JC was doing the animal cracker thing with Lisa Kudrow, and then he just started, the I don't want to miss a thing. You don't remember this from Armageddon?
Oh yeah, okay. I was like, what the fuck are you talking
The
about?
famous scene where
Okay.
animal cracker. So JC's like playing animal crackers on her, and then he kind of just goes, "I wouldn't consider this a cracker." And she's like, "What?" And then one by one, all the NSYNC members are like there in the scene, and then they start debating about if it's a cracker or not. Then they
It's a
start.
cookie. It's a cookie, yeah.
Then they all start playing with the giraffes on her, and she's just like, "You guys are all handsome, but this is weird. I don't think I like it." And then it was pretty funny.
1999. What a time to be alive.
The last bit was her auditioning for the MTV Movie Awards host, but she was auditioning to the Jedi Council. I believe it was from the Phantom Menace. Yeah, the whole when they're questioning Anakin. It was kind of funny. It was a lot of repetition. If you like repetition humor, it was just Yoda saying, "How feel do you?" And she said, "I'm afraid." And then he goes, "You're afraid?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "How feel do you?" And she just starts to get annoyed by him. And then he just starts going, and he won't stop. And she's just like, "How do we stop this?" And Andy Dick is in the scene as well as one of them.
Hell yeah, Andy Dick.
He's
Always there.
He was pretty.
We also love everything he does and agree with everything he says.
I will say this: the one time I will break the bit is I do not agree with Andy Dick. I will not do this bit with him.
He's a bad guy, but he's always in the funny scenes, which sucks. Yeah, but that was pretty funny. I was actually gonna send that one to you, but it kind of dragged on. But the whole Yoda just kind of going, It was fun.
What's next?
Oh,
You cut out.
I'm sorry. The only thing to note about that was when we were watching the prequels on Disney Plus, and in the Phantom Menace, he originally was a puppet, but he was an ugly puppet, so they redid him in CGI for the special editions. So this is the first time Katie got to see ugly Yoda puppets. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really hard to find video of it too.
We'll watch the MTV Movie Awards. Let's get into the awards, I say. All right.
Gimme.
Best new
Give me more.
Best new filmmaker went to Guy Ritchie for Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
What a glorious day.
I'm not a huge fan of that movie, nor Guy Ritchie.
I remember not liking that movie. So.
Very boring.
I love Guy Ritchie.
Okay, best fight went to Ben Stiller versus Puffy the dog from There's Something About Mary.
Okay.
I kind of feel like this win, he basically his acceptance speech went into a whole bit, including like a pre-roll video. where he was joking about how the whole dog was CGI, and they're saying they were using Jar Jar Binks technology.
Yeah.
But it was a very long and not that funny bit. It was like a lot of behind the scenes footage that had both the Farley brothers involved and a lot of like CG stuff. And I was like, I don't think this bit's that funny. But then he goes, let me bring out the whole team that made this possible. And on the stage, it was like 60 people coming out. And I thought that was kind of funny.
Who are the other fights? I'm curious.
Who? Wesley Snipes versus vampires.
Blade.
What?
Antonio Banderas versus Catherine Zeta-Jones for the Mask of
Just
Joe.
in real life.
And then my probably pick would have been Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker versus Chinese Gang, Rush Hour. And that must be the fight where Jackie Chan's trying to save the vase. And I remember liking that fight.
Nothing from Star Wars, huh?
No.
Or would that movie come out at that time?
I don't think that was... I mean, it's not nominated for anything. So
Okay, so it must have been 2000 then.
Yeah. Okay, best action sequence. Let me see if you can guess this one. Asteroid destroys New York City.
Ooh, huh.
It's either, is it Deep Impact?
Nope. It's from Armageddon.
I knew it was Armageddon. I was joking.
Oh, very funny.
You're going to get fucking lit up in the Patreon chat.
But it beat out Tom Hanks and company land on Normandy Beach from Saving Private Ryan, which is like
for real?
It's like one of the most insane and intense, I guess, action sequences you can call it.
The movie is just always getting snubbed. Didn't get any Oscar noms.
That's like the craziest opening.
Wins.
Yeah. Okay, best kiss went to Gwyneth Paltrow and Joseph Fiennes for Shakespeare in Love.
Best picture winner.
Mm-hmm. The other nominees I don't care about. Best song from a movie. I'm sure you can guess it.
Before you even say it?
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
It's I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith. All the other songs I don't even recognize. Okay. Best.
Not even Wild Wild West got nominated?
I'm sure that would have been up for next
Not the Linkin Park song from Transformers?
in 1999?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Come on, Dustin.
Ahead of its time.
I was high, dude.
Best comedic performance went to Adam Sandler for The Waterboy.
Sure.
Yeah, I like that. What am I missing? Okay, best villain. This one's weird. It's showing two people as winning, which is not slated anywhere else, so maybe it was a tie. Best villain went to Matt Dillon from There's Something About Mary and Stephen Dorff from Blade.
Oh, wow. A tie.
It wasn't even like a duo from like the same movie. It was
That's really weird.
But they both beat out Chucky from Bride of Chucky.
Oh
man.
And
Chucky wasn't in full form in that movie, so I get it.
And Jet Li from Lethal Weapon 4, which I had no idea he was in.
I forgot he was the bad guy in that.
Okay, best on-screen duo went to Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker for Rush Hour.
Yay.
Hey, I do believe the words that are coming out of your mouth.
I think I want to rewatch that now.
Breakthrough female went to Katie Holmes for Disturbing Behavior.
Okay.
Breakthrough male, sticking with Dawson's Creek, went to James Vanderbeek for Varsity Blues.
And his Banana Split, right? That's for none of the teen movie spoofs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Best female performance went to Cameron Diaz for There's Something About Mary.
Okay.
And best male performance went to Jim Carrey for The Truman Show. I love that.
Good.
I love that.
That's a great movie. Great film.
Beating out Tom Hanks for Saving Private Ryan, though. That's a tough one.
I'd still give it to Jim.
I will say Jim Carrey accepted this award in some character. He was in the character of the whole show. It was like some weird hippie 70s character.
Oh, I remember this.
I don't get why. I didn't know what the significance was.
Was he doing like his Andy Kaufman stuff around this time? Because that's when... Because this is around the time Man on the Moon came out.
Okay, maybe because like every time they cut to him in the audience, he was like in character the whole show. And then
I do remember that.
that was weird. Okay, but I'm glad you said that because it makes a little bit more sense now. Okay, best movie went to There's Something About Mary, beating out Armageddon, Saving Private Ryan, Shakespeare in Love, and The Truman Show.
I can't tell you the amount of, without going too far further, the amount of joy I would feel if we had to double feature Michael Bay movies, but if Armageddon won. But
in my opinion, I think I would have picked The Truman Show. That's one of my favorite movies. The Saving Private Ryan is an amazing movie.
I would have been happy to watch.
I get why that didn't win an MTV Movie Award, but The Truman Show,
it's not the core demographic, I would guess, or it doesn't really fit the theme.
Anything nominated would have been great. It's like the first time I would have had.
Yeah, all of those would have been fun to watch.
I'm not sure if I would have been too happy about Shakespeare in Love.
Oh yeah,
I think it's pretty good.
So let's get into the movie of the hour, or at least the half hour. There's Something About Mary. I haven't seen this movie in a long time. One of the 28 best movies of all time.
I don't think before this I had seen it to completion before.
I saw it.
I'd only seen it on TV.
I saw it in high school because I knew you had to.
I saw it in middle school.
I saw it in the womb.
Maybe elementary school. I can't remember.
There's so many famous scenes.
I know there's a lot
that you know about, and then watching this movie, I'm like, boy, all these scenes are really long. The movie kind of goes nowhere.
Yeah, I'll admit, going into this, I was kind of dreading watching it. I was like, I just kind of tough through like just this boring comedy, but I did end up enjoying it.
I thought I would like it more. It let me down.
It's not my favorite Farley Brothers movie. That's Dumb and Dumber for sure.
Dumb and Dumber 2?
Huh?
Dumb and Dumber 2?
I said Dumb and Dumber for sure.
It's not their movie.
I think you're talking about Dumb and Dumber 2 is theirs. They came.
Oh, Dumb and Dumber 2. I was thinking of Dumb and Dumber.
I would have said Dumb and Dumber if I meant Dumb and Dumber.
Can you say the full title, please?
No, you two.
Can you say the full title, please? Can you say the full title?
Now you two are looking like Dumb and Dumber When Harry Met Lloyd.
You're looking like Dumb and Dumber 2. The bad one.
I'm a lone boy. There's no movie called Dumb.
Boom.
Well, let's start one right now. You're dumb.
Okay, but
Or Me, Myself, and Irene is a really good one.
Yeah.
There's a couple things I liked about this movie. I oddly liked the guy singing throughout the movie every now and then. I thought it was a different.
I hated it.
It was different.
It was different. I didn't mind it. One way or another, take it out, leave it. I don't care.
The thing I didn't like about it is that he was never properly lip synced.
No, I don't believe it was him. That was like it looked like it was a different guy completely.
It's funny that you said something about the length of the movie because before we watched it, we were like, "This movie is over 2 hours for a comedy. That's like 9 hours."
Should have been 90 minutes. This movie should have been 90 minutes.
Yeah, comedies are peak 90 minutes, 95, 100 at most.
Yeah, they could have cut out a few of the bits. They could have cut out the Woogie character completely.
So
it was funny. We were watching it and we were like, we pressed pause and it was over an hour into the movie and it just started getting into like the plot, like the meat and potatoes of the movie, and we're like, wow, this took over an hour to get started.
The opening scene where they're in high school, I remember being like just an opening, just like oh, this happens at the beginning. I paused it when it cut to present day. It was like 25 minutes into the movie, and I'm like, oh god. All cut.
I do love Matt Dillon though. He's hilarious. He's such a skis and a scumbag. He plays it up so well. He hams it up.
I will say, I like how they treated. I'm trying to. I don't know what the most PC word is here. The mentally disabled.
Yeah,
I like how they treated him trying to look like he's nice to them, and he's just being awful. Like he's saying the R word and he's saying we keep them in cages, trying to impress her.
Yeah,
I think that scene is so funny because the idea is that he's getting it so wrong.
Yeah,
but I feel like you couldn't make that scene nowadays because people would be like, "Whoa, you can't say any of that." The whole idea is that you can't say any of that.
Yeah, you're right. But it's funny. It's because he's dumb. You're laughing at him, not
this movie's like relationship with the mentally disabled is so fucking funny and confusing because on one hand, most of the characters are treating Warren so well, being so accommodating, and the script seems to be, but then there are times where it's like, oh, here's a mentally capable person playing a mentally disabled person, and he's also like occasionally kind of doing a caricature of it, but also occasionally he's doing it very well. And you're like, I was like, I got you looking at this in 1999. This is fucking hilarious. Looking at it now, I'm like,
I wondered if that guy did a really good job. I thought. I wondered if maybe he was a mentally challenged actor.
I looked it up. He's not.
I think they handled the subject matter good for the time. They weren't.
100%. Yeah.
Making him the joke, at least.
No.
Not all the time. There's a couple moments I know what you're talking about where it's just like.
Yeah, where Warren attacks him, and when he touches his ears, and then him constantly yelling "Franken beans" is okay.
The scene where he does zip up his private parts. Yeah, I had in my mind that was only in the unrated version that you see the aftermath of that. I had no idea that in the regular theatrical version that's what you see too.
It was a little weird though that they keep showing people look at it and going, oh, like I kind of feel like they needed to pick a side. They either needed to show it from the beginning because they wait to the end to show it.
They should, when the firefighter looks at it, like the last person.
They shouldn't have showed it. No, it would have made it so much better.
I don't think they should have either. We're all on the same page.
Because I was having like nightmare vision of like, what the fuck did he do?
It's scarier what you can't see.
What did he do?
Because them describing it and making it more insane was funny. Because at first they're kind of like, ow, but then they're like, how did you get the balls on top?
What's the bubble?
Yeah, they're like, how did you get that on top? I thought that was funny. And when they show it, it looks bad, but it doesn't look as bad as you thought in your mind.
Yeah.
We needed more Carl Urban. Not Carl Urban. What's the guy's name?
Keith
the dad. Yeah, Keith. We need more Keith Urban in this film. Keith David, thank you. We need more Keith David in this fucking movie. I was mad he was only in the first 20 minutes.
He's great. There's a few parts that we laughed at pretty hard, I feel like. We definitely were enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, this is definitely a good movie. God, what was that one bit that made me like, so there's where the part where after Matt Dillon has gone to Miami and he's come back and he's talking to Ben Stiller and they're at the bar and like there's a very obvious like Budweiser advertisement happening, and so the guy comes up, brings Matt Dillon a Budweiser, and then he goes, "Hey, I asked for a scotch." He's like,
I asked for a whiskey soda.
It's even funny before because when he walks in, he like nudges the bartender from the beginning. He's like, "Hey, I'll take a whiskey, or scotch, whatever." He acts like he's the cool kid in town, and then immediately the bartender's like, "Hey, fuck off."
But the way the bartender puts it down, label out, and then he's like, "Fuck off."
There's 3 scenes where Diet Pepsi is facing the camera as well.
Okay.
And then there's a Bud Light joke later where he says to the dog, he's like, "What? Stay away from the light." And she's like,
holding a Bud Light.
I guess I'll just go regular.
I think anything that happens with Matt Dillon where like he's listening in on her, but he's hearing the wrong stuff, and he's like, "Oh, that's what she likes. She likes big teeth and all that stuff."
So he gets big fake teeth.
I thought all that was really funny.
Yeah, I love the retards. We keep them in a cage. It's like, whoa, man, you're going way south now, man.
I like how they team up the guy from Mousetrap, the one who was pretending to be disabled and British. Yeah, I know as the guy from Mousetrap.
I haven't thought about the movie Mousetrap in forever.
You're welcome.
I knew I recognized it from somewhere. I couldn't pinpoint it, so you kind of just made me go. I was like, whoa, man.
I like how they kind of sort of team up in the end. That was fun. We just kept, not to get too lewd on the subject matter, but it's something us boys, we probably all... Yeah, what?
Yeah, we were jerking it all the time.
Off, yeah. No, but speaking of jerking off, we just kept saying, like, during the famous, like, semen and hair scene, we just kept saying, like, behind us. It doesn't go like that. This wouldn't happen.
There's no way he could have gotten it to glop on his ear.
It's almost like
stay like
it's almost like the magic bullet from JFK. It would have to go like up here and then the fact that it was so viscous and sticky.
It's like it hit his ear, and then it must have like.
We just kept talking about it.
we were talking, and the consistency of it, like, and how it would have affected her hair.
No, it's supposed to be ridiculous, right? Like that's the idea.
No, I want serious. I want realism.
The idea was, I mean, how many times?
I know, of course.
And you can't find it. Like that's never happened.
It's of course.
I know, but it's just, I just, the amount of believability we needed to suspend here. Listen, I'm all for Transformers.
Just wait till we get to the next movie.
See, the thing that
also, it's like he was like leaning over a counter, and it's like, how is he aiming it in any way for it to get up? And I was just like, it just didn't feel believable. And that's when he was shocking the dog. That felt believable.
The thing that bugged me is when she puts in her hair, she has that scene where it's up. In the next scene where they're walking around town, her hair looks great. So
yeah, I couldn't quite tell. So that brings me to a point. I couldn't quite tell what they were going for, and I'm not necessarily going to say whether it affected how I felt about the movie or the character in general. But the character of Mary, I couldn't pin down if she was, because the whole thing is everyone loves her, everyone's like amazed by her, but they kept going between like her being dumb and oblivious and her being like smart as well, because she like knew all about kind of architecture and stuff. So I was just trying to kind of always pinpoint, like, well, do they like her because she's beautiful? Because she is a smoke show in this movie, but it's like, is it because she's smart? Is it because there wasn't never a specific moment where I guess you're just supposed to believe that, like, oh, everyone just loves her.
There's something about her, Dylan.
There's something about her.
Whoa! The vibe I always got is from her looks. Like the men fall in love with her when she's like biking down the street. So maybe it's the vibe she gives off, but
and she's very nice. She's like the neighborhood girl who goes around and feeds all the people.
Yeah, we were like, man, how we get a neighborhood hoe to come feed us and we're on our boat?
Maybe don't call them hoes.
What? They don't like that?
Well,
but to your point in the beginning, the movie kind of goes nowhere. It is kind of funny. I remember there being somewhat of a climax to the movie, but it just kind of ends. She's like, I'll choose you, Ben Stiller, and then it ends.
and ends with a very funny, comical scene.
I would have put $100 on that. She doesn't choose. She goes back with Brett Favre, which is a running joke. She had an ex-boyfriend named Brett. Turns out to be Brett Favre.
By the way, that joke, I remember seeing that in high school. It meant nothing to me. I knew Brett Favre was the football player. Right. It meant nothing to me. Katie watching this is her family is a Green Bay Packer fan. So she was like, Brett Favre? she was pretty.
That's funny.
She felt.
I would not have been able to guess what team he was on.
Green Bay Packer.
And yeah, the Green Bay Packers and the Vikings. I think that's where he was in his last years.
Pretty good with the pigskin, they say.
I heard he could toss one.
And catch.
That kid's going places.
That grown man.
I would have guessed that the movie ends with him finding another girl, like a cliffhanger, sort of like 500 Days of Summer. And in my mind, there's like a Mandela effect where they don't end up together.
Katie predicted that she was going to end up with a girl, that she was going to be gay at the end of it. Which she
that would have been a very 90s thing to do.
She joked halfway through the movie. She's like, I'm bisexual. And he kind of freaks out like, ooh, you're bisexual.
Ooh. Oh, don't touch me. Oh.
I feel like nowadays, I mean, especially with the people we hang out with, it's like, okay. Or I'm sure most people would be into that. I'm sure. But he's just kind of like, he starts sweating.
Hey, you.
But when she said that, I was like, I don't remember the ending of this movie. And she might be gay.
There's also a lot.
The part of the dogfight is funny. It just kind of launches out the window. I laughed really hard.
The part with the dogfight reminded me straight up of Date Movie. I'm like, this is a scene from Date Movie. I don't know what. Like, I'm just saying the vibe.
Right.
The whole feeling of that scene. I'm like, that's straight from Date Movie. I'm sure Date Movie would steal that vibe from them. But it felt like that to me.
There's also a lot of like homophobia humor, which is like very understandable of the time frame. But I guess I didn't realize how much of it was in this movie.
There's like there's that much.
Yeah.
There's the whole scene where he gets arrested for accidentally falling into a gay orgy. There's literally the opening scene of him as an adult in therapy, and his therapist is telling him that he's making jokes that he may be a homosexual.
There's the prison rapey stuff. There's
the joke about being bisexual. There's Matt Dillon makes like a couple of sides. And it's just there's just a lot of like 90s was big for that. And I guess I just didn't realize how big it was on this film specifically. Because when I think of like Dumb and Dumber, it's not at all like I can't think of a single gay joke in Dumb and Dumber, just because of how funny it is. Or no, there's not a single gay joke in Me, Myself, and Irene either.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, they were. I will say you brought up the rest stop scene. I thought the part where he's being interrogated by the cops, that's very funny to me.
That's so funny.
I love the miscommunication type of humor where he thinks he's being arrested for picking up a hitchhiker where they think he killed a hitchhiker. And just the wordplay is very funny. He's like, yeah, I've done it like 30, 40 times. I don't know. I've been doing it since I
don't know. I don't keep count. See, listen, where you guys come from, I know it's a big deal here, but where I come from, it's not a big deal. You know,
I do love the 6-minute abs bit, 7-minute abs bit.
Yeah,
really funny.
Yeah, you can tell he wants to kill him as soon as he goes down to like 7 or 6.
What?
No, it's kind of like a standard R-rated rom-com.
I will say, if that movie was made today, maybe during the Vine phase, Vines were what, 10 seconds long? What was the limit?
6 seconds.
6 seconds. So the joke would be like, you know, they're making an app where you can make 6 seconds. I'm gonna do 7 or whatever.
I'm gonna do 5 seconds.
It would be a social media bit nowadays.
We should remake this movie now, dude.
Yeah. Do it with 2 chicks.
Yeah, because then we would have girls and guys going after her. Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be pretty hot. Who would play her now? Who would play Mary now?
Who's hot right now?
Who's the girl from Little Women and Lady Bird? Yeah,
you would pick Saoirse Ronan for this role.
I was just trying to think of like a young hot chick.
Don't be a casting
Not
director.
like Jennifer Lawrence or like
I said a young hot chick.
Specifically young.
I forgot how old Jennifer Lawrence is.
No, I think she's like 80. I don't want to see Jennifer Lawrence in a movie ever again.
What do you
After her crimes.
I'm just fucking sick of it. I'm sick
we
of
get
it.
it. You eat pizza. You're not like other girls. You're just like everyone else.
You're funny and quirky.
I'm assuming probably Zendaya, maybe. She's pretty hip and cool right now, right?
I forget how young. I forget Mary's not that young in this. She's like 30.
But I'm assuming the whole cast would be younger in this movie. Like, who wants to see a bunch of old people chasing around a girl?
I want to see this remade with 60-year-olds.
Oh, like Jack Nicholson and Robert De Niro.
Oh, we just have them all do it again.
Yeah, do it all again.
I don't.
Dude, Matt Dillon would be so happy. I get work again.
He just did a Lars von Trier movie.
He's working on Crash 2, ain't he?
Yeah, crashing.
Crashed.
Okay.
Yeah, crashed.
Have crashed.
Oops, I crashed.
Oops, I crashed. Oops, I crashed. Racism is involved?
Yeah, this movie's fine. It's not like a mind-blowing movie. It's not. It's also not my type of humor. Or I won't say,
I think it is
my humor in it.
I think it is my type of humor.
It's not my type of comedy movie. I'll say that.
I think
it's very long for a comedy movie.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's get into the 2008 MTV Movie Awards. So this one's just not on YouTube at all. So I'm just gonna have to read off the Wikipedia. I was only
Did you check Vimeo?
No, I
did you check Daily? Whatever that other one. Daily Motion.
I also Google it in general, not just on YouTube. But
did you ask Jeeves it?
So 2008 one.
Oh, okay.
This was hosted by Mike Myers, which I think he's hosted before. This is a little later. I didn't think he would still be hosting.
For the Love Guru.
Maybe. Okay, so the acts were Coldplay performed Viva La Vida.
Ooh, very cool.
Yeah, and just as prestige, just as high class, the Pussycat Dolls performed When I Grow Up.
Okay.
And then there's...
What do they want to be when they grow up?
You have to ask the Pussycat Dolls. Then Adam Sandler saying something, but I'll get to that, and I'll get to it right now.
Thank you.
So the MTV Generation Award went to Adam Sandler, baby.
Heck yeah, baby.
And he accepted the award with a song. He sang "Nobody Does It Better." The James.
Was that the Chris Farley song?
No, this was the James Bond theme song from, I don't know, from some James Bond movie. But he's just talking about himself. He's just like, nobody does it better than me.
Which is funny because, like, he had only just started to hit rock bottom in 2008, right? He'd only just started pumping out shit.
I'm not sure what movie he did at that point. Was that after?
I'll take a look while we're looking.
Click happened.
Click happened.
And that's when Click
Zohan came out that year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I remember there being a couple clips from Zohan in the montage, so that's not good. Okay, let's get into the best.
That's not good.
Let's get into the best fight, baby.
Woo woo!
It went to Sean Ferris and Cam Geigadamp.
Y'all get it?
From Never Back Down.
How'd you know that?
I just know he's in that movie.
But they beat out the fight everyone remembers: Alien versus Predator.
Alien versus Predator?
No, an Alien versus Predator Requiem.
The good one.
But beating out a scene from Rush Hour 3, Spider-Man 3, Bourne Ultimatum, a lot of threes going on, and Jump.
What's going on? And only one of those, the threes are good.
Yeah. Well, which one? Wait, what are you talking about?
Ultimatum.
Oh, I didn't like the Ultimatum.
Everyone thinks Ultimatum's the best one.
Oh, I thought the first one was the best one.
Also, I want to say, 2007, Adam Sandler just did a Now Pronounced You, Chuck and Larry. In 2008, he did Don't Mess with the Zohan and Bedtime Stories. So he'd only just started pumping out the shit.
That explains why Kevin James danced with him, with Rob Schneider at some point during that song.
Okay.
The best summer movie so far went to Iron Man.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that reminded me of the only bit I've seen from the show. So the show opened, and this is from memory. I remember it opened with Ben Stiller, Robert Downey Jr., and Jack Black trying to create a viral video, because viral videos were new at the time, to advertise Tropic Thunder. And it was a lot of inside jokes. Like, it starts with Robert Downey Jr. reading a magazine that says Iron Man hits $3 billion in box office. And so he's just cocky from Iron Man. And Ben Stiller throws like a drug overdose joke at him. I was like, whoa, they're going hard on Robert Downey Jr. And then they're just trying to create a viral video where they hit Jack Black in the nuts a bunch of times.
If I remember correctly, when they hit him, they're all wearing masks from different movies they did.
Yeah.
So
he's in the Iron Man mask, and Jack Black is in this giant Kung Fu Panda head, and he can't hear anything. So every time they're like, "All right, we should hit him in the nuts," he's like, "A what?" You know. And Jack Black's very funny. Then he just gets hit in the nuts.
And it was Ben Stiller wearing the Madagascar.
No, Ben Stiller was just holding the camera.
Oh, okay.
But there's a funny part where Robert Downey Jr. was like, it was like a montage, but Robert Downey Jr. was like sitting on top of Jack Black with a hammer, just hitting him in the nuts. I thought that was funny. Though it ends on a weird note where they blow Jack Black's head up in like a. It was like a little too.
That's great.
It's like a little too sad. But best summer movie so far went to Iron Man, which I gotta say, the MTV Movie Awards happened on June 1st, which is before summer starts officially. So. I thought that was fun.
That's why so far.
It beat out Sex and the City, Speed Racer, and Indiana Jones 4. So
yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Wait, what about Chronicles of Narnia?
Bad year.
Prince Caspian.
This is a bad year.
I never saw that one.
That was just so far. Oh, one funny joke is in that Tropic Thunder opening, they're trying to impress Ben Stiller's nephew. And Robert Downey Jr. is trying to show off how cool he is as Iron Man. And the kid goes, yeah, wait till Dark Knight comes out. That was very funny. Okay, best comedic performance. It didn't go to Adam Sandler. It did not go to Seth Rogen. It did not go to Jonah Hill. It went to Johnny Depp for Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
Oh my
a comedic performance?
Best comedic performance, baby.
I guess he's funny.
But funnier than Superbad and Knocked Up.
Better than Superbad?
Best kiss went to Robert Hoffman and Brianna Evigan.
From what?
From Step Up to the Streets.
Step Up to the Streets.
Not even the good Step Up, which is 3.
Can I say that is like one of the best fucking movie titles ever?
I mean, it beat out Harry Potter kissing. What was that? What was the girl's name?
Voldemort.
It beat out Juno.
I'll defeat you, Voldemort.
What is Harry Potter? There's kissing in Harry Potter?
Yeah, I can't think of the girl's name.
He tongues the
Hermione?
No, he tongues the Asian girl.
Yeah, that he's within like 5 and 6 or something.
I don't know.
All right,
And then
I thought they were all asexual in those movies.
No, there's like in the fifth one, he's like the Asian girl he's into, and then in the last two, it's her Ron's sister,
Listen,
Ginny.
I don't follow
major spoilers for this franchise.
If you haven't gotten to Harry Potter yet,
But also beating out Disturbia, which
Disturbia.
good movie in my head. All right,
Okay.
breakthrough performance went to Zac Efron for Hairspray,
Yeah, cool.
beating out all 3 of the leads from Superbad, which is a bit of a
Boo!
beating out Megan Fox,
Boo!
beating out Dustin's favorite Chris Brown.
I love Chris. Wait, Chris Brown from Stomp the Yard?
From This Christmas.
I'm really upset
there's-
that Megan Fox or none of the people from Superbad won.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
3.
Superbad should have won.
And Seth Rogen was nominated for Knocked Up.
Good movie.
Best Villain did not go to Javier Bardem for No Country for Old Men, but it did go to Johnny Depp
Or
for Sweeney Todd. The demon.
was Megatron nominated?
No, but Angelina Jolie was nominated for Beowulf.
Oh, okay.
Spoiler.
Best male performance. This is one I can get behind. Went to Will Smith for I Am Legend. I like that movie, and I like
That,
it.
movie,
Yeah.
that movie's great.
Movie rocks.
Best female performance. I also behind this one. Went to Ellen Page for Juno.
Yeah.
And then the best movie.
Where's my cheeseburger from? That's a quote from the movie, right?
The best.
I'm pregnant.
Don't have a cow, man. I get her and Bart Simpson mixed up. Eat my
shorts.
They have the same type of sayings.
I remember my mom saw that movie before me, and she wanted me to see it because she loved the line, "Your ego is prego," and that was her pitch to me. She was like, "Rainn Wilson says this at some point, baby."
That was also the point to this to the studio. That was the pitch.
Your ego is prego, and it.
That's 2 brands, dude. Ego and Prego. Do you get it? He worked at a store.
Shut up, take my money.
Okay, best movie went to, you know it, you love it, Transformers, beating out I Am Legend, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, National Treasure, Book of Secrets,
Oh.
Juno, and Superbad.
I would have been very happy to watch Transformers, Superbad, or I Am Legend.
Superbad should have won. Superbad.
It's too good.
Superbad should have won.
It's too good. But, however, I do like Transformers.
Transformers, as we all know, one of the 28 best movies of all time. Let's get into the movie.
That was a bit between me and Brett for a while. That carried over to the next year. The bit of the Transformers sound carried over to the summer of 2008, where the bit was Batman doing the sound of Transformers.
Dylan, do you remember? I have this memory stuck in my head. I'm not sure if you remember this. But in high school, I went over to your house and we watched Transformers. But not only did we watch it, we watched it frame by frame. Because on the commentary of Transformers, Michael Bay says his home phone number is somewhere in the movie.
I remember this.
So I don't think we really wanted to call them. We just wanted to find it, but we didn't.
I remember those.
We did not find it.
I also remember that same summer us watching at your house the Incredible Hulk because we were convinced Spider-Man was in it, or Daredevil.
He swings around.
Yeah.
Oh, what about that one memory from high school where you were driving and you hit that guy and we put him in the ocean? We swore never to talk about it, but then we started being killed off one by one because someone knew about it.
Yeah. Anything when Dustin's not there was fun.
I'm just kidding, Dustin. He was my dad. Oh no!
He's the killer. Major spoilers for our life.
Or what was that? Not I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Yeah, it's a.
Okay.
I've never seen.
Double checking.
I've never seen, but I've seen scary movies, so I can pull that reference.
Yeah.
You don't need
It's all the same.
I think that's all we have to say about Transformers.
Man,
I
fucking love this movie.
I was gonna say. So at the beginning of this, I know you were a little upset. There's a little point of controversy that I went forward and looked ahead and looked to see all the movies. I don't look by week though. I just wanted to get ahead of the podcast and see what I was in for. And when I saw Transformers 1, I've been waiting every week for you to say we're watching Transformers.
I told you I'm saving some good ones till the end, baby.
Every week you're like, we're watching, and I'm like, Transformers.
So I will say, this movie, Katie had no intention of watching. She just came downstairs to like make a sandwich, whatever girls do. I don't know what they do. She sat down and watched the whole thing, baby.
There's something about I just love Michael Bay in most of his movies.
I cannot tell you how many hours of Michael Bay commentary discussion videos this motherfucker watched on YouTube the moment this movie ended. The moment the movie ended, I got up. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go talk to somebody. I went and made a phone call, and I could hear through the walls Patrick H. Willems talking about Michael Bay.
I watched about 10 hours worth of like film theory and Michael Bay. So I'm like all caught up, and I fully understand.
A little bit of history with me personally. I remember liking Michael Bay. I remember the Armageddon and The Rock and stuff. But I was going to see a movie with my brother called The Island, which I was very excited for. And I have to say, I love The Island. I wish that would win an MTV movie.
The Island's not bad.
I love it. But before The Island, there was a teaser trailer for Transformers. And me and my brother basically stood out of our seats, took off our shirts, and pounded our chests. We were such Bay heads at that time. Like, we were into Bay.
I still am.
I'm not.
Even though I hated his last movie.
All of these Transformers sequels really rub me the wrong.
Yeah, no, they're not very good. The first trilogy is okay, but
it's obvious it's a cash grab.
Yeah, well, The Pill. Remember that?
Yeah.
But so, I mean, I love The Island, and then we wait for Transformers, and Dylan knows this, of course, but we see Transformers. It's supposed to come out July 4th weekend, but it comes out on July 2nd for whatever reason. And
they bumped it up.
In the teaser trailer that shows before this movie is for a movie called Cloverfield. So
well, it wasn't titled at the time.
It didn't have any title, which is insane for a movie to do. Don't get me started on Cloverfield. That should definitely
that's a whole podcast in itself.
Definitely won an MTV Movie Award. But
it wasn't even nominated.
This movie has a lot of history with me, other than the movie itself. I just remember having a lot of excitement around this movie, and then I saw the movie. I remember loving it. And I would watch it. I had the Transforming DVD case. That was pretty cool. I got a lot of ladies with that one. And yeah, I used to watch this movie a bunch, and I haven't seen it in a while. So I was happy.
I haven't seen it in a while either.
Happy to revisit it. And I gotta say, I really liked it until the final action scene.
Really?
That final action scene, I was falling asleep, baby.
I felt like it dipped in the middle because it's not as good as I remember it being.
It's very chaotic and almost.
It's very well, yeah, of course. That's part of the majesty of it.
There's a lot of scenes where I'm like, why is this in here?
Both like with comedy, just dialogue, and whatever is actually physically happening on screen. It's just always something wild is happening.
But it makes a lot of sense when you hear about. I've listened to a couple actors talk about working with Michael Bay. TJ Miller talks about it a lot because he hates Michael Bay. And he was talking about when he was in what, Transformers 4?
Yeah.
No, he was in 3.
No, he was in 4, Age of Extinction.
Oh. 4. That was the one Shia LaBeouf was not in. There's a part where him and Mark Wahlberg are like throwing a football back and forth, and they're saying some funny lines to each other. And TJ Miller talked about how he wasn't throwing the football to Mark Wahlberg; he was throwing it to Michael Bay off camera. Mm-hmm. And Michael Bay would throw the ball as hard as he could and be like, "Say something funny," and he would yell at TJ Miller to say funny stuff. And when TJ Miller wouldn't, like not as funny as he wanted, he would throw the ball harder and harder until he said something as funny as he wanted.
He's a chaotic director, and it shows in his work. For better or for worse, who he is as a human being, well, that's up for discussion. But he is known to make like he's one of those directors that's 64 takes a scene.
He has a lot of like Kubrickisms. Where he's so enwrapped in the visual aspects that he's trying to create that he seems to not give a fuck about his actors.
And he also like loves comedians. There's so many comedians in this movie,
especially Transformers 3.
Yeah, and all the Transformers movies. But yeah, this movie
had Anthony Anderson, had Bernie Mac, had a lot of comedic performers in this movie. It really made me appreciate. I was like, oh, I think he just loves like comedians. He loves like black comedians too, and like because there's so many of them throughout this movie. Like almost all the comedic characters in this movie who get to have all the fun, funny lines, other than Shia LaBeouf, are the black actors, and I was like, I love that.
Yeah,
let them have all the fun.
They're funny to Dustin.
Oh my god! No, he casts a bunch of really funny people like Tyrese Gibson. Super funny whenever he's...
I would say the thing that sucks about the sequels is that the cast, it's really just Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox, right? That continues on. Because Anthony Anderson
just Shia LaBeouf.
In the hacking group, they're not in any of the sequels, right?
No.
Tyrese makes it to the second one.
Tyrese Gibson makes it to the second one.
And Josh Duhamel. I did just watch Revenge of the Fallen again today.
And
to follow this up, but
what's his name?
Parent.
Turturro.
John Turturro. He's the only actor that's in all of them.
Oh, I didn't.
Except for one. He's in all but one, which is the fourth one. He's not in Extinction. He comes back in the last one, the last night or whatever. I don't know. I have never seen Extinction or the last one.
They're not good, but
man, and I gotta say, I'm loving the buff in this movie. He is
Shia LaBeouf.
He is spot on.
Yeah, he's the best.
He is great at just being like, no. I know that's kind of like a meme.
Yeah.
Him, like that scene where the Transformer cop car is like edging at him. That's terrifying, and he plays it off so well. I thought.
I was like, whoa, did they do that practically? It looked like they might have had him on a rig pushing him, actually. And I was like, dude, that's fucking awesome.
Knowing Michael Bay, I doubt there was a rig involved. Because on the commentary, they talk about there's a part where that sand scorpion is chasing after them. And there's like
which is a great sequence.
Like a slow-mo shot of them all like running from it, terrified. And all of the actors say they're legit terrified because there's explosions going on behind them. And Michael Bay would just yell at them and not give them much prep time. He would just be like, go! And an explosion would go off and they would have to run and be legit terrified.
It's crazy that he hasn't had a John Landis situation yet. But yeah, he's known to just... And he does the thing where he melds practical and real life or CG so well because when shit's blown up and there's like that scene that looks so freaking cool and that one Transformer gets up and then just charges through the bus on the highway. They really split that bus in half. And not only that CG, like this movie still looks incredible in my opinion. The CG is like flawless most of the time.
It bugs me a lot when South Park started that joke where like Michael Bay, all he is explosions. And that's all he is, and it really bugs me because the amount of like planning that had to go into this movie. Because you're right, this is so much practical stuff mixed in with the CGI Transformers. But like seeing all these cars get crashed, they're all being crashed into each other, and that bus was exploded. So all like the planning, it's not like Michael Bay was like, just put an explosion in. Like he had a vision and he put it together. Like he's really good at that. Like making.
Yeah, he's a man with a vision, and it's undoubted. You can't deny it when you see it.
A really cool subtle effect is early on in the movie where Bumblebee and Barricade are like, they're kind of like eyeing each other down, and they're all like before the chase starts. And it looks like they have them on like hydraulics, like they have hydraulics rigs on them because like Barricade is like. The way the cars are moving, it's like way more realistic or humanist, or like they just show a lot more movement in reality. And it was like, oh, this is fucking cool.
It's a cool movie.
It's cool.
Yeah, I remember when I saw this movie. It was around the time when I started becoming more cynical. This came out what year? 2008? 2007. So like, I was I was in high school. Like I started. This movie, when it came out, I didn't feel like I was allowed to appreciate it for what it was, just because like everyone's like, oh, this movie's fucking stupid. And yeah, it is. It's really fucking stupid. The dialogue in this movie genuinely makes me cringe sometimes. John Turturro's character when I'm not laughing at him, I'm like, oh god, just like what the fuck is he doing? He like calls her hot. And at one point, and it's like, he's like, criminals are hot. And it's like, she's a child, my dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird, questionable stuff. And that's throughout Michael Bay's career. But
it just, watching it now, I really did appreciate this movie for the visual exhibitionism that it is. And it's fucking awesome to watch.
A big thing that bugs me about The Island, a lot of people critique it for the Xbox scene. And people say like, "Oh, this is just a big Xbox commercial from The Island," but you have to
wait for the Xbox is in The Island.
Yeah, there's a part where they're playing Xbox. They're like fighting each other, but it's a big Xbox. It's in the future, so you're actually like fighting.
Gotcha.
But there's a huge Xbox sign, like the whole scene. And but from a certain point of view, from like the product point, like he shoots stuff so well. Like all of the cars. All of the army basically is shot so lovingly, I guess you'd have to say. Like anytime the army is shown, it's just showing how like heroes they are and how they're working together. Even when it's just like them on the airplane, like talking in the computers, it's shot like these people are protecting you. Like, so if I was a company, I would want Michael Bay to shoot the hell out of my product. Like even the Xbox scene where he's just holding it looks cool, and then that Mountain Dew transformer is pretty cool.
So to say the Mountain Dew transformer, I'm like, fuck. Could you imagine being Mountain Dew and getting the offer to like, hey, do you want a transformer? And it's like, wait, what? How much do we gotta fucking pay you, dude?
I doubt it was Michael Bay going to Mountain Dew, but I'm sure it was the other.
No, but I'm sure the marketing department at Fox was like, yo, is it Fox?
Paramount?
This was Paramount.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I want to see that Shrek Optimus Prime crossover, baby.
Dude, this movie only got me more hungry for that Fast and Furious Transformers spinoff I've been hoping for, man. Get these universes crossing over.
That would be cool. Him time traveling and him doing Transformers would be pretty cool. Vin Diesel I'm talking about.
I was thinking more like, this is my pitch, is that they have an airship. They have an air. Finally, they go to space. All right, the team's got to go to space. There's
They gotta.
So they've got this new spaceship, and it's super great. But they need like a whole team to do it. It's like, well, this is the only team that we got that can do it underneath the radar. Mr. Nobody's like, you guys got to do this. And they get on and then why? This is in the first 30 minutes. So while the ship's taking off into space, you just see on the bottom fucking Optimus Prime and what was it, Ratchet, just like fucking attached to the ship. And then the ship crash lands, and they're like, "You got to help us get back to Optimatron or whatever the fucking planet is." Cybertron, and then imagine him driving on Cybertron and like out driving the Transformers, dude. That'd be so fucking sick.
I always think everyone says the next Fast and Furious they need to go to space. That's where everyone keeps pitching them to go. So I always think it would be cool if they keep advertising the next Fast and Furious movie as they're going to space, and in the movie something happens to where they don't go to space. That's what I want.
Or like it's all in VR.
Cool. But dude, my only like question about this movie is, so they harness the power of the Allspark, and they can like make stuff turn into Transformers basically. I don't get why when they turn stuff into Transformers, why they're automatically evil.
I said the same thing.
They come out like because he drops the cube and it transforms the vending machine into a transformer, and it just comes out with cannons. It goes. I'm like, whoa. I mean, I guess
immediately ready to kill.
I guess you'd be confused if you were just born and you had the ability to make guns. I guess that might be a thing you would do, but I'm like,
born with guns.
Maybe this is a statement on Michael Bay's making a statement on the basis of humanity, that humanity is inherently violent, and so creatures are born, they're just inherently violent.
I just wanted like some of them to come out and be like, I'm here to help.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
They just get blasted. They just get blasted immediately. So that's funny though that you thought the end, because I thought the end was very exciting and thrilling. I love the way it was shot. It was shot like practically all on handheld when it was on the street, and like everyone's looking up. I think I remember Michael Bay saying he was inspired by 9/11 footage for it, which is kind of strange, but. So the part when they're at the dam is where it dips for me, the Hoover Dam, and then it starts to pick back up.
Oh, really? I kind of like that because it's some world building. Though it's kind of I always found it a little weird that they like Megatron and the Allspark just happen to be.
Yeah, let's put them right next to each other.
They don't know that they're evil. They thought they were like they work together. So I get why they did it, but I thought it was pretty convenient.
I remember the funny thing is I remember there's I think there's like a funny kind of meme associated with this movie where it's like you can't remember what happens in the Transformers movie, but I remember the Allspark a lot, but I do not remember the subplot with the glasses and the grandpa being connected.
That's what I remember.
I forgot all about that.
That's what I remember. When I watching this, I never remembered that the Allspark was big at one point. I thought it was always small.
Yeah, I just always make it small.
I always thought I kept confusing that MacGuffin with the MacGuffin from the second one. The like bag of dust that he had.
The Matrix.
The Matrix.
What the fuck?
It's just like a sphere, but then it dissolves.
Yeah, because it just dissolves in the fucking dust at one point, and I just remember like, he's got the bag of dust. Gotta give it to Optimus Prime.
There's always a thing with all of these movies, and by like the third one, you're like, okay, how many objects are on Earth that they need to keep coming here for? They're just making up excuses. By the fifth one, it's a sword from Merlin, and I'm not lying.
By the sixth one, they're going to be like the whole planet has always been Cybertron the whole time.
Earth is a MacGuffin.
The Earth is Cybertron.
But yeah, like there's so many planets in the universe. Like I know the Transformers.
Go somewhere else.
I know they've been on Mars from the teaser trailer, but
and in the movie.
Yeah,
I guess it kind of, you know, what's funny is, you know, Megatron freezes in like below freezing temperatures down so it's like, oh, so then you can't go to any other planet. This is literally the only inhabitable planet for you.
Well, isn't like Neptune freezing?
Yeah, so like Mercury is boiling, Mars is freezing. So
I thought you were saying there's nowhere else where you can send Megatron when he's killed.
No, I was just saying there's like no other planet that like this is the only planet that could house not only our lives but also them. It's like also they're pretty shitty robots then if they're like planets like, oh, it's -32. Fuck. There's like, yeah, just like. It's just very funny. It's just very funny that like the idea of well, go to some other planet. It's like that's the only planet.
It's just this movie. Yeah, we just kept marveling at like how great it still looks 13 years later. Because in my mind, I remember this being like the best looking CG of the time. And while it's advanced, certainly since then, I think like, you know, some like Guardians 2 and like a couple other movies where I was like blown away by CG. Like this still is like still one of the best looking examples of CG I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
still. And I think it's because, and I said this before watching, it's because he maybe knew what he was limited with at the time. Because in the new ones, the ones that just came out like 2 or 3 years ago, you know, it looks like garbage, I think. I don't think they look good at all. But this one, you know, they are shot low and they are shot mostly handheld and, you know, with the Michael Bay aesthetic where it's always sunset. Like, so he knows like how to make it look good.
Yeah, he was probably working with the DreamWorks team to do, I mean, because this is probably, I don't think anything was ever made like to this size. Like this before, to try to make like these realistic looking robots interact with people on such like fast, high action packed scenes. So he's like working with DreamWorks and he's like, can we do this? And they're like, I don't fucking know. Act like we can't.
I do know,
shoot it like we can't.
I do know in the first one that they're not just CGIing like the robots. They CGI like every single piece inside the robot. Like they made models of every single piece and made sure the robots worked and all that stuff. So they went all out for the first one. I don't know if they continued that for the sequels or if they
third one they just go like they just tween. They just like
yeah, the third one they look very they look very like much like androids almost like of course it doesn't look like the robot from iRobot, but they get more soft looking. They're not as hard on the edges, they're not as mechanical, they have like more physical features, and it doesn't work.
One scene I really liked in this movie that it really doesn't make sense, I don't get why it's in the movie, but I think it's really fun, where the Transformers are like, we need your glasses, and he's like, okay, I'll go home and get the glasses. And it could just be a really simple scene with him getting the glasses, but the Transformers just keep messing they just keep messing everything.
Yeah, it's
up.
Fun.
And
slapstick's fun.
He's just like, no, my parents can't find you. And that whole scene's very funny. And then there's that shot where the dad looks out the window and all the Transformers are like hiding. I thought it's a very fun and cool shot.
What's the one with the guns? The one the shooty Transformer.
That guy or good guy?
Ratchet,
good guy.
Not Ratchet.
Ironhide. There's that really funny shot where like Ironhide's like, we could kill the parents, and Optimus is like, Ironhide, what's your deal? What are you doing?
Yeah, they have personalities, and like a lot of people poke holes. Like, oh, Optimus Prime is a maniac in these movies. He tears people's faces off and says, "Give me your face," and
he just says, yeah.
And he point blank executes people in 4 of the 5 movies. But I think it's cool.
Yeah, he's just like, I have no fucking clue. Like at the end of the movie, he's delivering this line like, maybe humans are pretty cool. But at the beginning of the movie, he's like, give me the fucking glasses. This sucks. I'm bored.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone's learning, right? He just wanted the glasses, but in his mind, the Decepticons were on his butt. Like, he needed these glasses. He doesn't care about the wand. He's just like, we're trying to save humanity. Give me those dang glasses, dude. And then,
I'm very impatient.
How do you feel as Sam, as a Witwicky, as a character? Because in my extensive, what was that? So I was like, what are you doing? Because in my extensive watch of like countless videos of Michael Bay, the consensus is that Sam's a terrible leading human.
I like him. I think he's very funny. I like Shia LaBeouf a lot, though.
I love Shia LaBeouf.
I don't know how he is in the sequels. I haven't seen those in a long time. I'm not sure if I got... Yeah, I think I did see the third one, but...
I remember the third one being very boring.
That's all the sequels, in my opinion.
That's all.
But
second one's still pretty fun, in my opinion.
I think he's fun. I think you got to have someone who's got to be able to like react and be like,
yeah, and boy, does he do it.
Like, who else would you want in that role? Tom Holland?
The argument is that Mikhail is actually the more interesting character and is actually the main character.
And also, just that, not that Shia LaBeouf is bad, but Sam is bad.
Yeah, it's not an argument against Shia LaBeouf.
Okay, you convinced me. I do want Tom Holland in the next Transformers.
Hey.
Holy shit.
Sure.
Don't even get us
started. But I'm a stand for Shia LaBeouf. I say put him in everything.
No, we can put Shia LaBeouf in the Michaela role. Tom Holland.
Can we get Shia LaBeouf back as like a gritty...
He died off screen.
I know, but like...
What?
They Optimus Prime in the 5th movie says, and kind of offhand, that he died.
What? They could just lie.
Did a brick fall on his head?
Yeah, they Final Destination.
They were just hanging. Him and Optimus Prime were just hanging out, and then Optimus Prime said, "Check this out." He threw a brick in the air.
Just one thing obliterated him.
That's my favorite thing from Final Destination 2 is when we're like, oh, the main character. Yeah,
brick fell on his head.
Off camera. Spoilers for Final Destination 2.
He got bricked.
He got bricked.
Get bricked.
I do think she's interesting. I know she has her history with Michael Bay. She got fired from.
Of course, yeah.
I don't know if that's what did her in on the first movie because Michael Bay doesn't write the movies. 3 other.
Money will bet that he has no idea how to write a script.
I know on set he really encourages improvising, so maybe he does take some writing credit.
Did you see 6 Underground?
No, I haven't seen any of his like serious stuff, I guess.
6 Underground is not serious. The movie is insanity. But I don't know how I feel about it because I hated it when I saw it, but when I think about it, like that movie was nuts.
Is this the Netflix one with Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, with Ryan Reynolds.
I'm gonna check it out. For some reason,
it's one of the most bonkers movies.
I thought it was like a serious
13 Hours is serious, and that's a pretty good movie. But I think his best movie, honestly, is Pain and Gain. I love that movie.
I don't like that movie.
What would you say? Men in Black 2? Or Bad Boys 2? Bad Boys 2?
Michael Bay.
Men in Black.
What's my favorite Michael Bay? The Island. I know it's a weird pick. People don't like it, but I love The Island. The part with the train wheels coming off, the part where they're on the sign going...
Which will be used in Transformers 3. What? They reused a lot of shots from that car chase sequence in The Island. They reused a lot of that because a woman, a stunt driver, she got injured and they couldn't use like the footage, so they had to scrap it. And there was like, let's just CGI Transformers over what was destroying the cars in The Island.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 100% true. This movie's fun. I love it for all the cool things. I appreciate it for all the bad things. I know there's dumb stuff in it, but it's an exhibition movie. It's like not. You can love it. The comedian Nick Swartzen, he had a funny thing about these movies where he said that isn't it that people just don't take things in modern age for granted? He brought these movies up, for example, where he was saying like, oh, people just go see these Transformers movies and they're like, yeah, they suck. But if you were to like travel back in time with these movies and like show them to like someone from the 40s or 50s, they would literally like go insane because they have no idea what they're looking at.
Well, yeah, and I was talking to Katie and she was like, this movie's kind of insane. And I'm like, well, this movie's based off a toy. It's not based off a toy.
Yeah, it's a toy.
It's off a toy.
And it's meant to sell more of these toys.
I'm like, they did a pretty good job for basing a movie off a toy. I can't think of many other. I mean, I love Clue. I wouldn't consider Clue a toy. It's more of it's a game. But I thought they did good. I can't think of any other toy movies.
They tried with Battleship, and it just ended up being a Transformers mimic, and it wasn't as
in G.I. Joe.
Yeah, it's just the same with G.I. Joe.
I think they have a couple other.
I love the Bop It movie. That's pretty good.
Yeah, the Chutes and Ladders movie is pretty.
Yeah, no, there's cons with this movie, of course. I can go into it, but
Domino is pretty weird.
What was it? Hugh Jackman in one? What was he in? The robot battle movie.
Oh, that's right.
Real Steel.
That's based off of Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Was it officially? I thought that was just like the joke name. Like, oh, it's the Rock'em Sock'em movie.
I think they wrote the movie based off of, and then they didn't get the rights or something like that. Like that was the.
Interesting. I would say, was Hugh Jackman in one of these Transformers movies? And I was like,
that'd be awesome.
Basically, he was in Chappie.
Can we get Will Smith in the next one? Fuck, dude, that'd be.
I want to get the Super Bad Boys.
Can we get their characters from Superbad in the Transformers movie?
I don't know where to go with the franchise because I thought Bumblebee was boring, but then clearly the Michael Bay formula gets stale after a while, or he just stops caring as much by the fourth and fifth movie.
I think Dustin's onto something. Either Fast and Furious gets involved, or time travel gets involved.
Yeah, or give it to the Fast and Furious directors. Give it to like Justin Lin, or give it to like James Wan. Give it to like some fresh blood, man.
I want to see Michael Bay do one entry in the Fast franchise and just like one Marvel movie, just like one weird entry in the Marvel movie where it's just like nonsense.
Dude, if he did a Ghost Rider movie, that would be fucking crazy.
I know he was supposed to do Lobo. That's DC though.
Yeah.
I don't think Michael Bay Fast and Furious movie would be that exciting. I gotta be honest. It'd just be like all of his other movies. I don't think it would elevate Fast and Furious. I think it would just be
no. But I think if James Wan wrote it or Justin Lin wrote it and then he did it, I think maybe.
No, I don't think they write it. I think it's one guy who's been writing them since like Tokyo Drift. But anyway,
it was like Charlie Kaufman or something, right?
Yeah, it's Charlie Kaufman.
I think
Chris Morgan, I believe his name is, but I can't remember.
No,
this movie's fun.
No, what's Diablo Cody, wasn't it? Right?
Yeah, get Diablo Cody to write a Transformers movie. Eat my shorts, Bumblebee. Cowabunga. I'm sorry, we keep getting Bart Simpson except with Juno.
So I guess we should get into the voting. Might as well.
Little Miss Sunshine.
That wasn't it.
Is that a Dakota?
I don't think so.
My vote, obviously, I wasn't a huge fan of There's Something About Mary, so I'm putting my vote in for Transformers, the movie.
Me too.
Whoa, hashtag me too?
I'll say...
Yeah, that's what that refers to.
I'll actually say There's Something About Mary.
What?
Are you serious? I can't tell if you're serious or if you're just...
I'm 100% serious. I think it is a better... Transformers was more enjoyable. I think this is a better movie.
I thought this.
We beat you anyway.
I thought this would have been a landslide.
I thought this was a landslide too. I'm disappointed.
I thought it would too, and then I watched There's Something About Mary, and I was like, wow, there's actually a lot of merit to this. There's a lot of merit.
I think there's merit to Transformers, and then this movie, after seeing the theater, led me onto a 1/1808 obsession for the better part of 6 months. So there's I can thank it for that.
So there's a movie with homophobia jokes, and then there's a movie without homophobia jokes, and Dustin picks the one with homophobia.
Okay, yeah, you want to tell me this movie doesn't have any homophobia jokes? You go ahead and tell me that.
This movie does have some problematic things, but they're not.
Have any homophobia jokes in it?
I can't remember.
There are no, not this one. The second one has all the homophobia jokes. You're right. You're right.
Don't try to come at me. There's nothing wrong with this. They don't say nothing bad.
They frame every woman appropriately.
They frame every character is completely treated like a human being. It's great.
Remember when
What's next week?
Remember when Shia LaBeouf does everything for her and like fixes her life? I remember that part.
Yeah. Well, did he really do anything?
I don't know, but the movie really made it seem like he did, which I thought was funny.
He did, technically.
But
All he did was he roped her into it, and then she did everything.
I know.
Yeah, but then
He's like, "Come here."
Then he told it. Then he said, "Make sure her juvie record's expunged and her dad gets free."
That's the one thing he did.
That's the most important thing in her life, Dustin.
I know, but that's the one thing he didn't save her life. He didn't earn any of that.
But
she literally could have said.
I'll say she doesn't earn that. She didn't earn her own juvie.
What I'm saying is that she could have literally said that in that scene. They could have given that line to her, and it would have been fine.
And when when Sam finds out about her juvie record, he reacts like crazy.
He shits on her, dude. He's like, "Whoa, you're a fucking criminal!"
He's like, I'm not sure if you're hot anymore, dude.
He's like, "Oh man, I was gonna have sex with you." What?
Because okay. Do you want to talk about next week, huh?
What's next week, baby?
Yeah, let's hear next week.
Well, I should say that Transformers is moving on to the next round. I'm very excited. So next week,
very happy.
Next week is the last battle of round one, the grand finale of round one. Now that doesn't mean we've talked about all movies. 4 movies are being seeded into round 2, so don't get too excited about that.
Or new movies, yeah.
But I think I saved the best battle for last. This is one your jeans are going to be popping, your shirts are going to be off when you're watching these movies, and you're going to be fist bumping and doing cake stands the whole time.
I'll get a cake.
All right.
Say it. You get a cake, I'll do a stand.
Okay, that's how that works.
All right. So, the 2013 winner, The Avengers.
Okay.
I thought you'd be more excited about that one.
Hold on. I'll get into it. What's the opponent?
Versus
Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Versus the 2016 winner, Star Wars: The Force Awakens, baby.
So I'm not going to jump far too ahead and say I know my answer, but
I'm excited.
We've talked about this before, how we think the Avengers is boring and overrated.
Yeah.
We've said this before.
And now we have to watch it.
I also haven't seen it since it came out.
Well,
I've seen it several times because I keep giving it a chance and I keep getting boned. It's not as good as everyone says.
Let's not get into it now. I thought you guys would be...
Maybe my mind will change.
I thought you guys would be a little more excited. These are 2 big...
No, I'm excited.
This is the first time they met up together, and then this is the first Star Wars movies back from the break. So
I'm excited. I just watched Force Awakens a couple months ago, and I watched it in December.
And the cool thing is, after this week, we get into round 2, so it's going to be like the movies we picked to move on. So it's going to be good movies, I mean, assuming.
Yeah.
Battling against each other with 4 new movies in the bunch. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited. Avengers versus Star Wars Force Awakens. That's why I made Katie watch the prequels, is because I knew this was coming up, and I want her to watch 7. And I was excited.
Smart man.
You're the only person in the world that's ever said that.
I'm sorry.
All right. Well, we'll see you next time for the Avengers versus Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Before we go, I want more followers on Letterboxd, so if people can follow me on Letterboxd.
What's your Letterboxd?
It's just my last name. It's Goodrich. So it's out there now. Goodrich.
You haven't even told me about it. You haven't even asked me to.
You don't like Letterboxd. You pronounced that you hated it like 3 weeks ago.
Okay, well, while they're also at that, they can follow me.
So that way you can kind of get an idea ahead of time.
Yeah, wait,
what we're going to say.
They want to cheat on the tests?
If they want to do this, Goodrich and Anime Dad.
Wait, so is this an app or a website?
It's both.
Yeah, it's both.
I might get it.
And it's where you can review movies, and like I stopped collecting movie tickets because it's so much nicer to just be able to look here and see all the movies I've seen. I know how many movies I've seen.
Let's see, like there's some of my recent.
Are you guys being paid by Letterboxd here?
No, yeah, we work for Big Letterboxd.
I've seen 1,400 films, and my little page even has my top favorite movies.
Scary Movies better than Scott Pilgrim?
No, I have Social Network, Scott Pilgrim, Hot Fuzz, Scary Movie are some of my faves.
Oh. Well, follow those ding dongs. I don't think I'm good at reviewing. What's this rating out of it?
So there's multiple ways you can review and multiple ways you can combine reviews. So you might like it. So you can do it on a 1 to 5 star scale with splitting it in half. So you do like half stars. You can just write a review. You can just say that you've seen it. You can just heart it if you want to say that you love that movie or really like that movie or it's one of your favorites, or you can do a combination of all those.
Can you say it's better than The Mask?
You could write that.
You could.
All right, well, I might think about it. I don't know. I don't watch enough movies, so I really don't know. But that's what my letterbox is here. This is everything.
Where are your letterboxed?
Yeah.
All right, now we can go.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.